Forest Fantasy is a Famous Studios cartoons cartoon from 1952. This is directed by Seymour Knightley and Myron Waldman. It's written by Isadore Klein with a voice cast including Jack Mercer. And honestly, it's not great, but I am biased and I do love the song. So there will be some spoilers as I talk about what happens in this, but at the same time, it's not really the kind of thing you can spoil too much. The one issue I had with this is the selection of animals, because it starts off really beautifully with an owl who is our conductor and he conducts the music. Half of the music I didn't like, but I'll talk about that in a moment. But then we see all of these animals playing music instruments and singing, and as a concept it's fine, but the animal choice is so poor. I'd say more than half of these animals are not found together in this kind of forest, and it just felt really lazy. It felt like it didn't make a lot of sense. So I didn't love that. I found it to be quite messy and quite badly thought out. And for the first half of the cartoon, I honestly thought I would be giving it a straight up negative review because the music is not very good either. It's not bad necessarily. I wasn't wincing or anything, but I really didn't care for the music. So visually, the animation itself is fine, but the animals just don't make a lot of sense. And it's not that creative. And the music wasn't great, so I was really bored. But then the sing-along aspect kicked in, and I got very excited, because the song is by the Silvery Moon, which is maybe one of my favourite Doris Day songs. She's sung a lot of songs beautifully, and I have to say this one is one I fell in love with as soon as I first heard her singing it. So I was quite happy that that was our sing-along, and we have our bouncing ball and the lyrics on screen, and all of that's done really well, and the vocal performance there is absolutely brilliant. I'm not sure who's doing the vocal performance for that song because the information isn't on IMDb, but the vocal performance is very well done. And then we have a bit of a cartoon at the end, which was, it was fine. So half of Forest Fantasy is really good. Half of the animation, well, the animation as a whole is pretty average. The animals really irritated me. But the animation of the lyrics on screen and kind of the colours they've chosen there, that all looks really good. Half of the music is good. So I'd say this, at best, is an average cartoon, but by the light of the Silvery Moon, or by the Silvery Moon, I love so much that it meant that I rather had a smile on my face by the end of it. So a little bit too biased, but I love that part of it. The rest of it, average at best. Forest Fantasy isn't great, but if you like By the Light of the Silvery Moon, then it's worth checking out to sing along to.